All right. Good evening. It is a thriller type evening, according to Steve. We are SEC After Dark. We're back for another Wednesday.
Thriller.
Nice. So we got some coaching changes that have happened that I'm sure we want to get into. College football playoff rankings, of course. It is Georgia, Bama. Is it Georgia's Coronation? Not so fast, but it's going to be a good game. We'll talk about
it's
that.
Absolutely Georgia's Coronation. If Georgia wins this football game, I think they set the record for most SEC wins over Alabama. They set that record, and they start their journey towards 3 in a row, and that's something that Alabama's never done. I don't think it can be argued, but that's beside the point. We'll talk about that in a minute.
We'll talk about that in a minute because we are presented by DeadSoxy. If you want to support Ole Miss NIL, visit DeadSoxy.com to get a pair or 2 or 20 of your favorite socks. They don't only have Ole Miss themed socks. They have other colors as well: purple and gold, crimson, cardinal, some other colors, blue. Like if you're a Kentucky fan. And if you're a Kentucky fan, you're glad to have Mark Stoops back. But it comes in a really nice box, like Steve over his right shoulder, right there. Yep. Mm-hmm. Just like that. So what you need to do is you need to sign up for membership. Because why did you want to sign up for membership? Because you get a 25% discount, a constant 25% discount. You get free shipping on everything and a free gift. And that gift is to be determined, and you won't know until you sign up for your membership. So, and you get a fancy box.
Yeah, tell you what.
Yeah, that's great, right? So, what you need to do is go to DeadSoxy.com, sign up for that membership, buy your NIL Ole Miss socks, buy your DeadSoxy socks now, and as always, stay soxy. And we are also, not only is DeadSoxy presenting us, our lines for our pickle picks are presented by betonline.ag, your number one source for all your sports wagering needs. If you want to bet it, BetOnline has it. And I'm talking about casino games as well. They have props, live odds, futures, whatever you want to bet. They've got it for all sports, all activities. And then you can also, when you're done with that, go play craps. So it's a lot of fun over there. So what you need to do is go to betonline.ag, sign up, use the promo code Bleav, that's BLEAV, for a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline.ag, it's where the game starts. And I had the aforementioned pickle picks. What is the pickle part of that, Steve?
You know, it's time to get locked on pickles, everybody. Stewart's Cajun Pickles, that is, offering a variety of Cajun spice products like pickles, green beans, okra, even carrots and asparagus. This is a family-owned company, homemade on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi. Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles have been pleasing pickle lovers for over 20 years, and they have become the South's favorite pickle. These are truly the best pickles you will ever have. A strong dill flavor with a Cajun punch, no over-sour taste. This being a small business, they strive to keep the produce fresh and local from the start, keeping the final pickle product extra crisp and crunchy. You can find these pickled products online at thepickedstore.com or at your local Rouse's Market or other Gulf Coast areas, local southern stores near you. Be sure to like Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles product on Facebook and Instagram. Try these pickles, okra, and beans today. You will not be disappointed. Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles, the South's favorite pickle. And
Steve,
apparently something happened at Auburn.
Was there a game this weekend?
Yeah, I was on Twitter and I saw a joke, and it was 4th and 31, and Hugh Freeze was on the sideline praying. He's like, I want this thing. He's like, what should I do, God? What should I do, God?
Yeah, I saw this.
Yeah, and he said, you should rush 2. And Hugh Freeze is like, really? Okay, I will rush 2. Well, Alabama converted and scored the touchdown and won. And Hugh Freeze is like, why would I only rush 2, God? Why would I only rush 2? And he's like, I'm not sure. Bear, why did we tell him that?
Oh, Bear. Yeah.
Oh,
yes. I love that.
I don't want to make fun of him, but that's some crap Tennessee would pull, giving up a 4th and 31.
Not only did the 2-man pass rush screw them over, the safety that was supposed to be help over the top also screwed him over by taking the cheese in the middle.
They had a spy. on 4th and 31 when everybody's in the end zone before everybody can to the football. That was just played 11 on 10.
It was fourth.
Yeah.
Completely worthless play.
It was 4th down. I mean, there was no way Murrow was going to run 31 yards, especially with
and everybody in the end zone could come out after him at that point.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
Ask Joe Milton how that works.
Yeah.
He just runs it out of bounds.
I hope he was watching though. Look, if it's 4th down and long and it's the end of the game, throw the ball. You never know what'll happen. Just throw it. It's too late.
It looked like Milrow knew exactly what was going to happen. He looked like, how do you get looked off as a safety on 4th and 31 with no other time remaining? You get looked off when the route that's being ran that you're jumping runs into traffic, and you run into traffic too, leaving your guy one-on-one who's not looking at the quarterback, and he just throws it right by his ear hole, and
how do you get a one-on-one in that situation?
Yeah,
and I guarantee you, if you look at the all 22, you have like 7 Auburn players that are between the hashes, like right underneath the goalpost, covering 2 players. I guarantee that works. There's no reason that Isaiah Bond should be matched up one-on-one in that case and not have a safety somewhere in that general vicinity.
He never supposed to. Like I said, the guy screwed him over by going to the middle of the field.
Yeah.
I mean, he threw it to the only spot that you could throw it in that situation.
It was a perfect pass. It was an absolutely perfect pass.
Put it right on his face mask, back pylon. It was beautiful.
It's an unbelievably big time play, but we can't let Auburn off the hook with the absolute idiocy that was that 4th down call from the beginning.
Yeah, that was brutal.
And honestly, we make the Joe Milton jokes all the time. You can do a little bit of that with Jalen Milrow too. When it got a little bit further down the field and became a 4th and 31, the end zone was a more accurate play. He was probably more comfortable throwing that than if they were at the 15-yard line.
Oh yeah, because he does throw a pretty deep ball. Yeah, no, that's true.
Miller just got to learn where the line of scrimmage is at. And once you pass it, you can't go back, back pedal and get it.
Once he nails that down, he'll be hell. I can't believe he did that twice, didn't he?
Did it twice.
And how about your cousin? Buster Faulkner brought out the game plan this week.
Dude, he was in his bag, dude.
Yeah.
My goodness. Congratulations, Corey.
He was cutting it up, man. And he's in the running. I don't know if he'll actually take it, but he's adamant. Of course, he's going to say this because it's the right thing to say, but he's adamant that he's not leaving Georgia Tech, but he's a legit candidate for the MTSU head football job.
Interesting.
Oh, nice.
Because Rick Stockstill got fired.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
after 18 years.
Wow.
Hey, I'm just going to point this out here, Corey.
Yeah.
If Buster Faulkner gets that job, you need to get an off-field job at that point.
I'm going to talk to him. Video coordinator, personnel guy, something.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think you need to be like an analyst or something like that.
I could definitely. Well, that's also in play.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Depending on what he in his network of coaches has, thought of in those positions. But yeah, that would be a pretty sweet gig.
Yeah, and Chris Childers. I mean, good grief, he'd be in heaven. Mm-hmm. Childers is trying to get his name on the stadium.
Yeah. At this point, he probably could. He's one of the most famous alumni, isn't he?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Some schools have like Tim McGraw and all that, and MTSU has Chris Childers.
That's right. Show pony.
Close enough.
How about this? Bobby Petrino.
Yeah, this is what I want to talk about.
He's back in the saddle. And KJ Jefferson says, "Nah, I'm out."
KJ Jefferson is going to end up at State.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
Oh,
yeah. That's what KJ Jefferson is going to end up in Starkville playing for Jeff Levy.
So just not going far. Okay.
What do you think of that hire, Steve?
I think A, it's an incredibly desperate move by Mississippi State. B, they absolutely had to do it, and C, he's not Lane Kiffin. So it's not going to matter. So basically, you've got a B- version of Lane Kiffin on your sideline, and they're going to try and emulate what Lane Kiffin's doing in Oxford.
it seemed like a little brother. Hey, we're sticking it to you, Ole Miss. Like he was your guy of the future or something. I don't know. It just felt like that.
Yeah, and it's one of those. If Petrino can keep his pick on the chart, he'll be okay.
Play off motorcycles.
Yeah,
The Harley dealerships got the money bags in their eyes.
Yeah, he's probably banned from volleyball competitions. Not good. Hey, I give Sam Pittman all the credit in the world because he is bringing in Bobby Petrino to be offensive coordinator, and he is the one person that if the season gets off to a slow start, Bobby Petrino will be the head coach.
Yeah,
because everybody that's Arkansas fans want him to be the head coach because the last little bit of a modicum of success that they had, Bobby Petrino was the coach, and they want that again. So Sam Pittman having the self-confidence to do that, I give him all the credit in the world for that. But, I mean, this is almost like playing with a rattlesnake a little bit.
He's going to get bit at some point because that's what Bobby Petrino does.
I do think he's going to let Bobby Petrino handle the entire offense. So I don't know if Jimbo really gave him the opportunity to do it.
Was anybody shocked about that, Jake?
No.
Yeah.
No, nobody.
No.
Yeah, Bobby Petrino had the cheesecake. He was the one holding the Cheesecake Factory menu.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what he had to call the plays from. It wasn't his playbook.
Yep, that's right.
That was a mess from the start. I mean, I think Jimbo would have at least got fired at the end of the year instead of with 2 weeks to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a mess. And then the fiasco of their hiring process. They basically got a more rookie version of Mark Stoops.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. What is going on? And I understand
They're
that
the
video.
same cat.
Now, whenever Jimbo Fisher got
That's a
hired,
compliment.
they did the North Korean band on the tarmac and that whole yard, and it was so cringeworthy. And you're like, A&M can't top that. And then they hire Mike Elko and they do the saw and they put that. It's like, come on, why are y'all doing this? Basically, you are making me say mean things about you.
Mm-hmm.
You're flying your freak flag early.
I mean, it's literally a cult. It really is.
Oh, hey, Mississippi and State did the whole they hoisted the AD on their shoulders.
Cult.
And carried
Auburn's
them
a cult.
Mm-hmm.
That's the three cults in the state of in the SEC, and that Mississippi State, Auburn, and Texas A&M. They are three peas in a pod. And Auburn honestly should change their color to maroon because Mississippi State, they're just at least honest about it.
Yeah,
they're like the cousin of the prophet in like rural Utah that's went off to start his own thing. I mean that's that vibe.
Mm-hmm. I just don't know why Mike Elko left Duke because I mean he had no pressure there. If he was winning 7-8 games, they was happy. I know it's the money aspect, but I mean if he don't come in and start winning, he's going to be gone in a couple of years too.
He could have if he'd have stayed at Duke and continued what he was doing, he could have named his price, named his school.
Mm-hmm.
Like he could have went anywhere.
What if Texas A&M was his school though? I think we need to consider that because he is an A&M guy.
I was gonna say he's got ties to there. It makes sense.
And that's
more power
that's
to
the
him,
reason he has the job and not Mark Stoops. Like I said, you got a rookie guy that's not as experienced as Mark Stoops, and the reason the same guy. The reason that Elko got that job is because he's an A&M guy.
So what happened with Stoops? Because I didn't catch all that. Was it really just the fans revolting, or
there was a Tennessee situation?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So it's basically the same thing where the fans found out they voted and they threw a fit. I don't understand why. Stoops would have been a good hire.
Mm-hmm.
Been a fantastic hire. Honestly, it'd have probably been what A&M needed.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Stoops
just a complete.
Honestly, get it twisted.
It's a version of what Alabama did when Nick Saban got there. Nick Saban got to Alabama and saw all the boosters and all the powerful people in the school and was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. You're going to continue to give me the money that I need. You're going to stay out of my hair, and I'm going to win a ton.
Mm-hmm.
And none of this good old boy stuff, none of this access stuff. We don't care that you're the big rich boosters. Just trust me. If we do this, we'll win. And because Alabama's won big, they've been able to do it. Mark Stoops was in position to where he could do something similar to that and A&M's big name boosters,
Mhm.
they weren't willing to do that. They crave the access more than winning. That's the reason they have no national title since 1940.
Yeah. All right.
And more money than God.
Because I mean Stoops, people marginalize what Stoops has done at Kentucky because it's not glamorous. He hasn't won conference championships or anything like that. But Kentucky was, outside of a few years with Hal Mummy, I mean, they've been. I don't know their history past like 1995, but I can't imagine it's too good. They're known for basketball, and that's it.
Yeah.
And
Their basketball team is really good right now.
They're always, well, most years they're really good.
But I mean, they're back to being really good.
Okay. Good for them. Georgia's pretty good, actually.
Yeah. Kentucky last night beat Miami, who was 8th in the country, by like 30 points.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Georgia beat Wake Forest the other a few weeks ago.
Did you see that Ole Miss absolutely boat raced NC State last night?
I
Basketball
saw the score,
school.
Who is?
Got to win at something, right?
Ole Miss.
Oh, nice. I need Chris Beard to turn that program around quick.
Yeah.
Cowherd said Milroe's a weak quarterback. Cowherd also said Big Ten is God and Michigan should be number one.
Yeah.
So take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Anybody that's watching this podcast and watching what we're talking about, anything that comes from anybody associated with Fox, automatically disregard what they say. They could not afford to get the SEC, so they decided they're going to publicize the Big Ten. If you look at College Game Day actually goes to the biggest game of the week. We can joke about actually how the pro thing goes, but they go to the biggest game of the week. Big Noon Kickoff does not go to SEC schools. They only go to schools that they cover. Everything is a war. And honestly, if the SEC and ESPN doesn't realize what's going on, the narrative that the SEC is down, even though the SEC right now has 5 teams in the top 13 in college football, there's only 3 of those teams going to make the New Year's 6 bowl games because the SEC is down.
Joel Klatt, he said that Georgia's biggest win was Tennessee. Did he forget about Auburn? Did he forget Auburn? Did he forget about Ole Miss and Mizzou?
Yeah.
Did he forget about UAB? I mean, come on.
Hey.
Yeah, and Georgia's biggest win is going to be, and you're not going to be able to argue with them. That's going to be 3 top 11 wins that Georgia is going to have.
And one of them was an ass kicking.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Against a very good team. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Hey, but Missouri did not have to face Mims and Bowers.
No, they
didn't. Georgia's a different animal with those guys when they're up to play.
And McConkey. Y'all had McConkey too.
Yeah, we got the whole package.
And Alabama's going to have the whole unit too.
Yeah.
They're all back.
Georgia Tech, Bowers didn't even play against Georgia Tech, and it was like, oh crap. Kirby absolutely is just, we're going to win this game, no matter if we win it by 1 point or 7, and we're going to Atlanta for blood.
Yeah,
and I'm looking forward to the SEC championship game. The bad thing is I'm interested in the American Conference championship game. I need Tulane to win the game, and they're favored to win it because
you're a Tulane fan now.
Ole Miss still has an outside chance to get into the New Year's Six, and a win over a conference champion Tulane would be more than anybody else can get, and that might affect the rankings. All Ole Miss has to do is move up 1 spot. If Ole Miss moves up 1 spot, they're in the New Year's Six. They should be in the New Year's Six now. If it's the playoff next year, Ole Miss is in the playoff going to the Big House. Or not the Big House, the Horseshoe. It drives me crazy. This is Louisville's fault. This is honestly Louisville's fault.
For losing?
No, for being able to go to a New Year's Six bowl game ranked like 20th in the playoff poll because they're contractually obligated to take an ACC team. Yeah. Yeah. What Ole Miss needs, they need Florida State. Florida State to win the game, but not make the playoff and have to go to the Orange Bowl. If that happens, Louisville's gone. Ole Miss is in the Access Bowl, New Year's Six. But that's probably the only scenario. But Florida State being undefeated and not making the playoff, that's not happening.
Yeah, I don't think so. I know they're a different team without their quarterback, but you can't leave out the ACC champion went undefeated through the season.
You can't, but they probably will.
Out of all the games that's on the schedule and everything, I mean, we're going to see Alabama and Georgia, so I'm not saying anything about that.
Yeah.
Friday night is a big game. Oregon, Washington. I think Oregon's going to win that game.
Yeah, I do too. The game that I would really like to see if it got to the playoff, and I don't think that there's any chance that this game would happen, would be Georgia and Texas.
You mean the 2018 Sugar Bowl?
Yeah. I would like to see that game. I think Georgia is going to steamroll Michigan if they get them. Florida State, they would embarrass them.
Mm-hmm.
I think Oregon would be a decent game, but they'd probably win that by 2 scores.
Oregon would probably be the best matchup for them.
Yeah, I think the only team that has a chance remotely to beat the Georgia Bulldogs for the rest of the season is the Alabama Crimson Tide. This is the de facto national championship game, in my opinion, Saturday. But the problem with that is if Alabama wins, I can't even guarantee you that Alabama is going to make the playoffs because all of these people have made these narratives, even though the SEC is 5 out of the freaking top 13 in the country, the SEC is down.
Mm-hmm.
It's crap. It's crap. It's clown shit is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go. 21-43 in. We made it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Stuart.
Mm-hmm.
Family show. Love it. Jeb, I'm liking the decorations, man. It's coming together.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back, honestly. So
Looks better than Owen Mills, that's for sure.
Yeah, I panicked right before this because I couldn't find my camera. Apparently, I thought I'd left it, but I found it last second.
Yeah, I don't understand this whole thing. If Alabama beats Georgia, they absolutely deserve to be in there.
I already don't understand some of the rankings, so what they'll do in that situation, I have no idea. Like, honestly, I'd have Texas ahead of Oregon right now anyway. Why is Ole Miss behind Missouri? That's another one I was looking at.
I'd have Alabama ahead of Oregon because of the win-loss and who they have played.
Texas and Alabama both. I agree with that.
The only school that I could confidently say that should be ranked over Alabama is Texas because the one in Alabama's column is Texas.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless Texas puts a 2 in that column. Then.
And that was early in the season. I don't think that would happen again, but at the same time, you're right. It did happen. So
no, Texas. I mean,
Texas is good, but
I think it would still be a similar game, Jeb.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe.
I think it'd be a similar game.
But Ole Miss has better wins than Missouri. Why are they behind them?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get this.
Yeah. I was on with the Locked On Missouri fan. We're doing the show that's going to come out tomorrow. And I was like, this is why Ole Miss fans are so frustrated with the playoff committee right now. If Missouri played Ole Miss's schedule, they would finish 9-3. If Ole Miss played Missouri's schedule, they would finish 11-1. How do I know that? Both of them finished 10-2, but Missouri lost to LSU and Ole Miss beat LSU. So if Ole Miss just did the same thing and won the game, they're 11-1. If they played this, because they're not winning in Tuscaloosa. I don't care what Mizzou fans say. They're not going to Alabama and win. If your name is not Georgia, you can't say that you're going to walk into Tuscaloosa and win the game.
I don't even know about that. Like last time we walked into Tuscaloosa, it was one of those games where we were up at halftime and then got
speaking of which, is that game in Tuscaloosa early next year?
It is.
Okay.
Which is weird. I figured we would have gone to Georgia, but we didn't. We ain't for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the SEC woke up and chose violence.
Yeah.
The schedule next year. I am so here for it. I am so here for it. And
Georgia's going to Texas October 19th, I think, something like that.
I think whenever the first week of the season needs to be an Oklahoma and a Texas game on Thursday and Friday. And then you
Friday,
Friday.
No Friday football for SEC.
Yeah, why not?
No.
Why not?
Arkansas and Missouri does it.
Maybe Vandy.
You're coaching because you can't. That's why you're mad because you won't be able to watch it.
Yeah, which one of those teams plays Vandy?
Okay, there you go.
Is it Oklahoma or Texas?
I think it's Oklahoma.
Yeah, so have Oklahoma play Vandy for that Friday. Have Texas play whatever on that Thursday, and then you have the you just have a big celebration weekend, because I think they're going to try and have a marquee game every week. I think that's the goal, and they can do that, honestly.
Yeah, they will. They will do it.
Yeah, I am so fired up about Arkansas and Texas.
They do it now.
So fired up.
They do it now. There was a marquee game every week.
Mm-hmm.
Corey, have you seen Florida's schedule next year?
Is it bad?
Oh my gosh, they got both Texas and Oklahoma.
They got both.
Let's see. I don't remember who all they got.
I don't think anybody got both, did they?
Did they get the? Who was
Texas
talking about?
They got each other. Hold on.
No, I know they got Miami, UCF, and Florida State next year.
Yeah, they don't have Oklahoma.
Yeah.
They do have Texas.
They got Texas. Okay.
They always have Florida State.
Yeah.
And then Miami, then Texas A&M and Texas and Ole Miss and Georgia, of course,
and Missouri. I mean,
brutal, man.
Yeah, it's a rough schedule.
Yeah, whatever they did, they need to just like, what did I do?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and playing Miami and UCF in the same year, along with FSU.
Hell, we might beat them next year because it's not in the swamp. Thank God.
Ole Miss is playing in the swamp next year.
But they're at home 4 straight weeks though.
Yeah, but Tennessee just can't win in the swamp.
No, there's no dates yet. We don't know that for sure.
Well,
they've said a few of them, but not.
They did like 6.
Because I know that we get the third Saturday in October still.
Yeah, October 12th. They got Georgia at November 2nd. Florida State and so they got LSU, Kentucky, Ole Miss, and Mississippi State to schedule.
Yeah,
the SEC is just hard, man. It doesn't matter who you are.
It is.
It doesn't matter who you are.
How about Clark Lee losing everybody?
Vandy just needs to lose Clark Lee.
Yeah.
That's my first Locked On Vandy hot take.
Yeah, my hot take.
It's not really a hot take.
Everybody needs to watch and see what Will Shepherd's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably gone.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
They're all leaving.
Is he a junior?
You lose your entire quarterback room.
Yeah, I honestly, I predict right now my hot take.
Tackler.
Will Shepherd will end up being at wide receiver at Ole Miss next year. That's my thought.
Was Ole Miss in the running?
I don't know. I think he's the type person that Lane Kiffin gets, and he's a Trey Harris type receiver.
I mean, he's good. He is good. He is good.
Yeah. And AJ Swan, where's he going to go?
Ole Miss.
No, if Lane Kiffin signs a quarterback, I'm going to lose it.
Somebody's got to replace Spencer Sanders because Spencer Sanders has.
Yeah, they've already replaced Spencer Sanders. They have Walker Howard and Austin Simmons sitting behind them. Ole Miss had the best 4 deep in the conference.
There's somebody that entered the transfer portal that I was like, they're still playing college football. I think it was a Big Ten guy.
Oh, KJ Jefferson is like, he's on the match.
Yeah.
Him too.
Yeah,
there's another one. There's another quarterback. I'm like, good Lord.
Yeah, he's on the Matt Jones plan.
It was Will Rogers. Will Rogers leaving. I was like, good Lord, is he done yet?
I wonder where he's going to go.
Technically, I think Joe Milton could get another year.
Clemson would be a great fit for Will Rogers because you got Garrett Riley over there.
No, you got Kate Klubnik. Will Rogers isn't taking that job. I think Will Rogers is going to be a fit at USM. And the quarterback at USM transferred. So I think everybody needs to keep an eye out on that.
The Mustard Buzzards.
Yeah.
When does that miss start? Is that Monday?
Yeah.
It's already started, by the way.
Yeah, pretty
much. They've already been announcing, yeah.
They're announcing I'm entering the portal, but it's not official yet. They can still.
Yeah.
They can still.
I've got people getting into my DMs telling me exactly when they're going to visit, and it's like the portal hasn't even opened yet. And I was like, it's like, hey, just keep it on the quiet until Monday.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay,
don't tell everybody that right now.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm pretty fired up about it. I like the fact that I've gotten to the point where like parents just reach out to me and just let me kind of know what's going on. And like I'm planning on like my Monday morning show is probably going to be centered around that kid's visit.
Speaking of shows, I'm very, very close to debuting on the airwaves.
Nice. How's it go?
Excellent.
How'd it go?
It's
When did you start?
I just got the this is a little behind the scenes shinfo, but I got the magic, what is it? Magic wand? No.
Megaphone?
Megaphone. There you go. I got the megaphone invitation today. I got to fill out some stuff on Podio. And
Have you done the training videos and all that?
I did like the host hub.
Yeah, okay. Pretty fantastic.
I don't think they're going to make me do all the dog and pony show because I'm like, they know I know what I'm doing.
Well, they're still going to make you do a little bit of the dog and pony show, but it's worth it. And you've got your YouTube page and all that.
Yeah, I got my YouTube page. I don't have any like artwork or any logos or anything like that, but like if I wanted to, I could jump on there and record a YouTube short. I could record something on there if I wanted to, if I really wanted to.
Okay.
I don't think they'd be thrilled about that, but
no, they probably wouldn't until you're done.
yeah, but theoretically I could.
But hey, I'm pretty fired up. I'm ready for a little Locked On Doors or Locked On Vandy. Which one?
Vandy. Vandy's the more recognizable name.
Yeah.
People always say Vandy. Nobody says Doors.
Yeah, except for me apparently.
Yeah, it's gonna be Vandy, or it should be. This is gonna be Locked
You
On
think
Vandy.
Clark Lee after the Tennessee game was like, "Stop messing with me, Swan"?
Swan, what are you doing? God, him getting mad was hilarious because he went from like cyborg, no human emotions whatsoever to like, you think you're better than me, boy? Like you know, like the
Clark
fake.
Lee.
You know when somebody like fake restrains you, like
Yeah.
like you're like, hey, restrain me. So it looks
Hold
like
me
I
back.
want
Come on, hold me back.
Yeah,
You have
like,
no
although-
idea how lucky you are.
Although even as a Tennessee fan, I can understand why he was upset. He had a reason.
oh
to be
that
mad.
yeah. I mean, he had a legit reason. But
Yeah, the referees were letting this quarterback get beat up, and a lot of that was their own fault. I don't even understand what was going on.
they heard a penalty. They blew a play dead, and the guy just went.
Well, they did it twice in a row. In the first one, there was a whistle. He shouldn't have hit him. I don't think the guy heard the whistle, so it's not his fault, but it's still a penalty. Should have been, and they didn't
It
call
doesn't
it.
matter if you hear the whistle or not; it's a penalty.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it should have been a penalty. I agree with that. But then they did it again the next play. They didn't. I don't think they blew the play dead at that point, and still just let the announcers thought it was a sack until somebody said, "Oh no, the play was dead." It's like, then why did you let him get hit? At that point, Clark Lee was just ticked. And I don't blame him.
Yeah.
You should have been.
Hey,
The quarterback ended up getting knocked out of the game. I mean, eventually, not during that.
officiating across the board has been terrible this year.
Yeah.
I think Ole Miss has gotten 30 more holding penalties, something like that. 30 more holding penalties than the other team that they played. Once you averaged it all up over the season.
I think Georgia got more holding penalties in the Tech game than they have all year combined.
Yeah.
I mean, the Tech game was atrocious. Like I don't think they knew what they were looking like. That some of the things they called should have been called, and some of the things they didn't call should have been called. Like they just didn't know.
Yeah.
Like there were some calls. I'm like, ooh.
I'm fired up for Tech, man. I am fired up for that game. They're going to go to some weed whacker bowl or something like that. And Georgia Tech, they're just going to get to enjoy themselves.
They're going to get matched up with like Rutgers and just destroy them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I heard they're slated for the Pinstripe Bowl.
Ooh, you little Yankee Stadium.
I think seriously against Rutgers, they're matched up in the Pinstripe Bowl. That's their projection.
It's gonna be
Big
cold,
Ten.
I bet.
Yeah.
You know, Michigan, whenever we do our picks, since this is championship week, we're doing the championship pick. Michigan is a 22.5-point favorite, but the over-under is like 31 points.
That game could get tricky because Iowa's pretty good at defense. They're not good at anything else, but they're good.
They're good at defense.
They're good at punting actually, but
They're really good at punting.
they're really good at punting. They're really good at tight ends.
Yeah. Ole Miss fans need Michigan they need Michigan to boat race Iowa in that game. And they need Tulane to boat race SMU, which Tulane's playing against a backup quarterback So maybe Tulane fans will quit complaining about Michael Pratt getting hurt earlier in the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that is the Ole Miss path to the New Year's Six, and even then, it's a hope because you have to jump Penn State.
Which
They
you should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should. But it's a situation. It's like, will the committee allow it to where there's 4 SEC teams and 2 Big Ten teams, or will it be 3-3? That's the problem. Penn State would not beat LSU.
No.
Other than Michigan and Ohio State, nobody in the Big Ten would beat LSU. And that goes for pretty much every SEC team above LSU.
Yeah, I was
LSU
going
is
to say.
the 5th team in the league.
I was going to say the top 5 teams in the SEC would boat race Penn State.
And they're probably going to get their chance. Maybe Penn State's going to play Tulane. Maybe that's going to be the NY6 matchup where they kind of help themselves, save themselves a little bit.
Yeah. Should be at least.
Yeah. The good news for me is the Citrus Bowl is 50 miles from my front door.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have a good time. And the Under Armour All-American game's going on down here at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm going to have a busy 2-week period come the end of December.
Yeah.
Nice.
It'll be fun.
Be fun to go to Jacksonville for the Gator Bowl, but I don't think I'm going to make it. Since I'm assuming that's where we'll end up.
The Gator Bowl.
Yeah, it's only like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it's not that bad of a drive.
Yeah.
The Gator Bowl.
I wonder who's playing in the Mud Bowl.
Bobby
Reference
Boucher.
Yeah, Bobby Boucher down there. Yeah.
Bobby Boucher.
Mhm. I love Mama.
Gatorade.
Gatorade's better.
Mm-hmm.
H2O.
All right, you know what time it is?
What
Picks.
time?
It's about
It's time.
It's
For
picks time.
Picks.
Pickle.
Picks.
Pickle picks.
Pickle picks. We got to do some pickle picks, picking pickles and hoping Bobby Petrino keeps his pickle in the jar.
Okay, and while we're doing this, you can play along in the chat as well, and also put in the chat where you're watching from, wherever you're streaming from. Put that location in there to let us know what's going on, because we do appreciate you watching and spending time out of your evening. But I do want to let you know tonight's picks is brought to you by Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles. It's time to get locked on pickles. Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles, that is, offering a variety of Cajun spice products like pickles, green beans, okra, and even carrots and asparagus. This is a family-owned company, homemade on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi. Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles have been pleasing pickle lovers for over 20 years now, and they have become the South's favorite pickle. Corey's tried it. Everybody's tried it. It is fantastic.
Refrigerate
Honestly,
after using.
Yes, Corey.
It will change your life. This being a small business, they strive to keep the produce fresh and local from the starts, keeping the final pickle product extra crisp and crunchy. You can find these pickle products online at thepickedstore.com or at your local Rouse's Market or other Gulf Coast Southern stores near you. Be sure to like Stewart's Cajun Dill product on Facebook and Instagram. Try these pickles, okra, and beans today. You will not be disappointed. Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles, the South's favorite pickles. Rick and Bonnie says they're on Amazon too. So you can go to Amazon and get them there as well.
Nice.
Oh, hey.
Mhm.
Now we're talking.
All right.
Moving on
All
up.
right, moving on up. Like them. Jeffersons. All right, here we go.
To the east side. Yes. Are we going to do our?
deluxe apartment in the sky high. Oh,
Are we going to show the records of where everybody is? I don't know if
Oh,
we're doing
yeah.
that or
yeah.
just so we all know,
We don't have
where
to-
we are.
We don't have to put the record up.
Yeah, we do, because Corey's still in last.
Oh, barely.
All of you.
Put down that banner.
Number one feels good.
I'm coming for you, Jeb.
Well, I was looking at it. I don't think Steve and I are going to be so different that he can catch me, but you and I are. So after this week, one of us will be number one, one number two. That's going to be fun.
Yeah,
I will be
it is.
number
You could
one.
definitely catch me this week.
I'm like the Indians in Major League. I'm crawling out of the cellar.
Yeah. If the
So here we go.
season was just twice as long, you'd be getting there.
I would be there.
Hello, Auburn Tiger fans.
Ah,
Hi, Louisville Cardinal fans.
This has a chance to be the funniest result ever.
Yeah, here we go. All right. New
All
Mexico
right.
State is taking on Liberty in the Conference USA Championship. We're going to go in order from left to right on our spreadsheet, which those of you at home cannot see our spreadsheet, so I'll help guide you through that. Steve, you're going to be first. New Mexico State is 10.5-point dogs against Liberty.
You don't need no cats. They don't need cats in this game. They need dogs. They need dogs. They don't need no cats. They need dogs.
Is Charleston Southern playing in this game?
Liberty is probably the better team. But New Mexico State, after what they did to Auburn, I think it would be hilarious if they just got the double. And I also think Liberty's I'm just not fired up about that institution. I'm just not. I mean, it's like just adjacent to rooting for the Taliban if you're a Liberty fan, and I'm going to go with New Mexico State.
oh wow.
Yeah, I'm going with the Killers. Even if they lose, I don't think they lose by more than 10.5. So I think they at the very least, worst case scenario, they cover. But I'm not going with the cover. I think they're going to win outright, and I'm hoping Jerry Kill and the Killers kill Liberty on Saturday or Friday or whenever they're playing.
They might be Friday. Yeah, no, I'm kind of with y'all. I think Liberty is the better team, but New Mexico State's just they took a little while to find themselves this season, but once they did, they've just been playing some great football. So I feel like they're going to cover this.
Yeah, I think New Mexico State lost like their first two of the first three games or something like that, and they've just been on a roll ever since. I got to go with my Liberty boys for putting a whooping on Auburn and giving thank you for that. It was glorious. Cassie's actually picking Liberty though, but I'm taking New Mexico State.
Liberty, Liberty, Liberty. I just think it would be much funnier if New Mexico State just came out and totally blew it and Liberty just whipped the snot out of them. That would be awesome. And Auburn would just have to swallow that too. So for that, I'm going with Liberty.
I'm not into making fun of Auburn that bad to have to subject myself to rooting for Liberty.
And they are Friday night, by the way. Yes.
Okay.
Still going with Liberty.
Suit yourself.
Hugh Freeze. That's all I'm saying.
Freezes.
Mr. Freeze. Blood freezes. Oh.
Wrong, Mr. Freeze. Okay, here we go. Our next game. Oh boy,
it's late during the year. We made it through a whole pick segment. I mean,
Right.
Batman and Robin was just naturally going to come out eventually.
As it does.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it happens.
I'm going to need all of you to chill.
Just
I came here to lead, not to read.
Wait, that's the Simpsons movie.
Oh yeah.
Gosh.
It's not a tumor. Wait,
Okay, now we're just doing Schwarzenegger. I'll be back.
Get down.
get in the chopper.
Yeah.
Kindergarten Cop. It's been a minute.
I love that movie.
I do love that
Who
movie.
is your daddy and what does he do?
Is he big? He's probably a wrestler.
For
Not
Hugh
my
Freeze,
daddy, your daddy.
if that question is for Hugh Freeze, it's Jerry Kill. The answer is Jerry Kill.
Yeah.
My dad's a real sex machine.
Well, is Oregon a real sex machine? Are they going to bring it home this week or what, guys?
Yeah,
let's get back on
Oregon's
track
9.5-point favorites. Oregon has one loss and Washington's undefeated, and Oregon is the favorite in the Pac-12 championship. Truly Pac-12 after dark on a Friday night. Friday Night Lights. Steve?
Last ever Pac-12 championship game. I think Oregon is going to – I think this has a chance to not just be a win for the Oregon Ducks. I think this has a chance to be a big win. This is a game that Oregon wins by 3 touchdowns. Give me Puddles.
Puddles. Yeah, I'm taking Puddles too, man. It's like it was kind of a struggle in the first game for Washington, and I don't think they have the same magic. Oregon is just on fire right now. They're an extremely explosive team, and there's not a whole. And if this thing breaks out into a track meet, it's over for Washington. So give me the Ducks, give me Puddles. Bo Nix is playing on some different level that Auburn fans are probably scratching their head about right now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to agree that Oregon is the better team. I honestly believe they are. They're playing better. They look better. But Washington just keeps finding ways to win. And honestly, I've been impressed with them. My heart wants to go to Washington, so I'm going to take them to at least cover this. If not, go ahead and just find a way to close out this great season of theirs by winning the Pac-12, being the last Pac-12 champions ever. So I'm taking Washington.
We are taking Puddles. I just think Oregon is on a roll. They've been rolling. They kind of – I mean, they only lost by a field goal in that last game against Washington. Ever since then, they've been dominating. Washington's just kind of scraped by all their opponents. So I think Oregon's a better team. So we're taking Puddles as well.
All right.
You know what I love? Apples.
Oh.
You know who has apples? Washington.
Granny Smith.
I'm going to take Washington.
I can't believe you're going against Puddles.
Yeah.
I know, but Puddles has let me down a couple times. Look at where I am in the standings.
Puddles is riding in.
That's part of Puddles' fault. And I'm trying to save him a few push-ups. So really, this is for Puddles.
Puddles is going to be jacked after this game. Let's just be honest.
Speaking
He's
of
going to be doing his
Arnold
Arnold impressions. Yeah.
I had Puddles. Get on the chopper.
Oregon's going to win the game. It's like number 3 seed, number 3 seed, number 3 seed.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be 4.
The committee's like Florida State.
There's no way Oregon gets shut out if they win. They're like the favorite. They're like the media darling.
Oh no, they're going to be the 3 seed. I don't think they'll be the 4 seed. I don't think they'll be matched up with Georgia.
No, assuming Georgia wins. All right. The Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship kicks off the day on Saturday. Oklahoma State somehow limped into this game after banging their foot, breaking their arm, falling on their face, stumbling over some furniture, and getting into the Big 12 Championship. They play Texas. Texas 14.5-point favorites. Steve.
Okay. I'm just going to say this right now. This is going to cause me some discomfort after the show is over. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
The Texas Longhorns, one of the top 4 football teams in college football right now. They belong in the college football playoff. Give me the Texas Longhorns.
I get older, they stay the same age. Sorry. Sorry.
Stop.
What do we say about Googling?
Yeah, Jeb.
Christ, Jeb. You're going to end up like that Oklahoma City Thunder player.
Oh, my gosh. Josh Giddey. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, he hooked up with a high school chick.
Innocent until proven guilty, guys.
I mean, it's not going to be hard to prove.
Yeah, it's
She
all
was
over
There's
social
pictures.
media.
not innocent.
It's all over social media. It ain't good. Is that bad? It's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Innocent,
Who are you picking, Jeb?
innocent until proven guilty does not exist in the court of public opinion.
Yeah.
Corey, have you done yours?
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just skip it over every
Yeah.
week.
Right. It's like, make this stop.
I don't want anybody to talk about Texas.
all right. Yeah,
No.
Texas is going to roll. This is going to be a classic. Like Mike Gundy just won Coach of the Year. I don't know how, but he won
This
Coach
year?
of the Year.
He lost to USA by
Yeah.
30 and
He
won
won-
Coach of the Year.
Won Coach of the Year in the Big 12. That's I don't know. I don't get it. But it's going to be classic Gundy. Everyone's expecting some big things out of Oklahoma State since they made the title game, and they're going to get freaking boat raced.
USA. Yeah, no, I'm gonna agree with you. Texas is
America beat them.
Yeah. Which it doesn't sound as bad when you say it that way, but no,
Yeah.
Texas is just so much better. I think they need to, or they're going to want to try and make their statement that they can for the committee, just hoping to earn their way into the playoffs somehow. So yeah, Texas is going to roll here.
Corey, you said it best when Oklahoma State limped into this matchup because after they got boat raced by USA, they kind of got it together. They started running the ball a lot. Their running back one game had like 250 yards rushing. And then they started just skating by again, barely beating teams. And you can't skate by against Texas. You're going to play your A game. I don't see Oklahoma State bringing their A game in this game. I think Texas is going to win this easily. And Cassidy was picking Texas as well.
Wrong. You're all wrong.
Pick Texas.
I am not picking Texas.
Pick
Oklahoma
Texas.
State is at the very least going to cover, but God
Becky built
willing,
the
going to
wall.
win. Becky, what?
Build the wall.
You shush. Oklahoma State. Let's move along. Gross.
She's all business tonight. She don't want no fun.
It's gonna be a lot of Lincoln commercials.
She just wants to get to the game of the year.
You catch my drift.
If your AI falls in the forest and nobody's there to hear it, does it make a sound?
Stop.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
icky
Becky's just
right
ready
now.
for that Florida State game. She's ready for the game of the year. All right.
Oh yeah.
So here we go. It's I guess it's another game on the slate here, but no. From the Mercedes-Benz Dome, it is the SEC Championship on CBS. The last time we will hear Gary Danielson.
Thank God.
I don't have. I should have known you were going to say that. I would have had a hallelujah bit.
Mhm.
Would have done a
I-
hallelujah.
I still left it out there for you. Should have had it ready because you knew I was going to say it.
Yeah.
That's on you, Steve.
Yeah. My intuition is not what it should be.
Well, after 160 years of life, I mean,
Oh, shit.
the intuition kind of comes and goes. I had to, Steve. You set that up on a tee, man.
He remembered what the word was, though. So I'm really
Okay.
proud of you, Stephen.
good.
You are
Yeah.
doing well.
That's
Becky,
good.
that makes you the Anna Nicole Smith in
Shut
this
up.
situation.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Actually,
Oh, boy.
it'll be fun. Call me Marilyn.
Oh boy.
Oh, my
Georgia's
God.
5.5 point favorite.
Oh,
Took a
just
turn,
off
yeah.
the rails.
Steve.
So this is going to be a fun game. And I do think there's one team in the country that has a chance to legitimately beat the Georgia Bulldogs, and that is the Alabama Crimson Tide. That's the team that has the talent to go in there and absolutely match up. I think Jalen Milroe is going to cause problems. Kirby's defense has struggled against mobile quarterbacks in the past. I think Alabama has a better chance to win this game than most people realize. That said, I think Georgia has been preparing for this game for 3 weeks. I think everything has been towards this game, and that defense is going to come out there very locked in. They're not going to rush 2 with a spy on 4th and goal from the 31. They're not going to give the quarterback 17 seconds to throw the football. In that situation, Kirby and Will Muschamp would just blitz the hell out of Jalen Milroe. I don't think that Alabama has the horses to win this game. I think Georgia wins and covers, but it's only like a touchdown game. I'm thinking like 24-17 type football game.
What gave me hope, Steve, Jeb, Jake, and Voice of God is that Auburn ran really well on Alabama, surprisingly well on Alabama. And that's without a passing game. And Georgia runs the ball really, really well. Kendall Milton, Dejon Edwards. If Dejon Edwards can hold on to the football, it'll be good. Ladd McConkey's back. Brock Bowers is back. The offense is humming. What worries me is the center of that defense with the youth at inside linebacker with Smell Munden, CJ Allen, Raylan Wilson. They have the responsibility of not leaving huge gaping holes in the middle for Jalen Milroe to run through, or Jace McClellan or Haynes or whatever. That being said, I think Brock Bowers, Ladd McConkey, Kendall Milton, and Dejon Edwards is enough to lift the Bulldogs to victory and an SEC record number of wins in a row. Give me the Bulldogs.
Real quick before we move on, I do think a key in this game will be the Georgia tackles, both right and left side, going against Braswell and Dallas Turner. I think that is a monumental important thing for the Georgia Bulldogs, because if Carson Beck gets to go back there and play 7-on-7 like he's done many times this season, Alabama has no chance in this game. It's going to be imperative that
they're going to heat
Turner
him
and
up.
Braswell heats him up.
They're going to heat him up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I'll let y'all get to Jake. So since he's the Alabama fan, I'll just go ahead and say I am taking Georgia in this one. I think Alabama has gotten better and better as the season's gone along. They're a great team, and I agree with Steve that they have a good chance here. But Georgia's just – I'm not betting against them until they lose. Georgia has not lost in almost 3 years now. It's just getting kind of ridiculous. So I'm taking Georgia to cover this time, but I think it'll be a good game, and I think it'll be close.
Corey, I don't care about how many rushing yards they got last week. It was in Jordan-Hare, and it's got voodoo, and that shit is real, and it happened last week. So this week, the defense is going to be a lot better on the, covering the run and all that. Plus, let's just be honest, guys. Georgia has not seen a defense like Alabama's this year yet. So we're going to get after the quarterback. That's what we do. The defensive line's played a lot better than what it has in previous years. And the secondary has been locked in on for most part this year. Jalen Milroe and the offense are still not a finished product. They're still growing their game and tuning their self. Milroe's gotten better each and every week. It's going to be a puncher's chance, and it's going to be a knockdown, drag out fight. But I think Alabama, with their season pretty much hanging on the balance, they've been fighting for weeks for this, and I think they can get it done.
All right.
And Cassidy does too, right?
She better, but yeah, she took out.
You better check yourself,
I like
sir.
that it's Wednesday and Jake has his game face on already. I mean, he's ready to go. Let's go.
All right. Before I make my pick on this, I just want to make sure I have a few facts straight. So Georgia has not lost a game in 318 weeks. Is that part correct?
I think the last loss was to Alabama in the SEC championship game 2 years ago, wasn't it?
2 years.
That was the last loss.
Mm-hmm.
And Alabama is just stuck at pick number 8 for the playoff.
Where if
picks,
Alabama
right?
beats Georgia, they'll move up to 7.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
We're not
then
getting in.
Kirby Smart mentored under Nick Saban. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
And Kirby Smart is slightly younger than Nick Saban.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And people are constantly asking
Really?
Nick Saban, is this going to be his last year? Is he retiring? Does he need to retire? Is that right?
Sounds familiar.
So why do these names
so,
pop
hope
in
so.
my head? Tommy Gunn and Rocky Balboa. And I got some bad news, Corey.
Uh-oh.
Tommy Gunn, it didn't work out for. Okay.
I didn't hear no bell.
Oh,
I didn't
no.
hear no bell. I'm taking Alabama, and they're going to win decisively, and it's going to be shocking, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a good game, but I'm taking Alabama.
Problem is, Tommy
Becky.
Gunn played Rocky's game and got into a street fight instead of taking care of it in the ring like he should have. Alabama,
Hey.
stay in your lane. You'll be all right.
He should have listened to what's his name? Was it George Washington Dukes? He should have listened to it.
Shoulda, coulda,
Donkey,
woulda, baby. Don't
yeah.
matter in the end. Rocky's
My
gonna
ring's
bring it home.
outside.
Becky, I appreciate your
Yeah.
enthusiasm, but I see where you're at in picks, and I'm worried.
You are not nice, sir. I gave you a Rocky freaking reference. Come on, man.
Yeah, but
And
here's
that's
the
for
problem.
Alabama, who I have no love for.
And Becky had no idea about this. Okay. This was not planned. This is not a bit. This is just a horrible coincidence. The last time this season where Rocky Balboa became a prominent feature in a game that featured Georgia Bulldogs, it was me comparing them to Ivan Drago to where Ole Miss is Rocky with that puncher's chance against Georgia. So,
Oh.
yeah. And then you went
And-
Rocky 5. I mean, come on.
But instead of being Rocky, y'all turned out to be
Hey,
Yeah.
hey,
we
Apollo
were
Creed.
Apollo. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were Apollo.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was really proud that I even thought of that.
I know. Hey, it was
Okay, and now
fantastic.
you're just stomping on it.
Yeah. Rocky 5 things. That's something.
That's why Rambo's better anyway.
Should have stuck with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Get into the
Move
chopper.
along, move along, sir.
Just Stallone and Schwarzenegger in the same pick segment.
Hey,
This is the
what
best
you do?
championship week ever.
Hey,
We
And-
need some expendables quotes here pretty soon now.
Hey, you know, like,
Do not challenge me on this.
There we go.
Hey.
Right there.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Nailed
hey,
it.
like,
What about A-Team? I pity a fool.
I pity the fool.
And that's also could be a Rocky
Rocky.
3 reference.
Yeah.
It can be, yep.
Oh.
Really, Rocky is the metaphor
Right.
for life, I believe.
It really is.
I think this is just showing that we're all happy that the strike is over. We can finally get to movies and everything.
I'm ready for them to finish up season 2 of 1923, and I'm
Yeah,
dead
me
serious
too.
about that.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Well, let's
We
talk
ju-
about the biggest game of the week. SMU
this-
versus Tulane, guys.
It
Now
is.
we're talking.
Moo.
SMU's got a backup quarterback in this game.
SM2.
Wish I'd known
For-
that earlier.
Yeah, for anybody that wants to change their picks before they get public with them.
I was never changing my pick.
Yeah. Hey, I'm all roll wave, man. I am all about roll wave. Tulane's a 3.5-point favorite at home on ABC in the American Championship game. Tulane is one game away from going to another Access Bowl, finishing off a 12-1 season. Their defense is legit. Rhett Lashley's done a good job at SMU, and they're starting to look like an ACC-type team, and the money's going into it. I just think that not having the quarterback, Tulane's going to be able to do the deal. And it's just so weird to see Tulane being good. And I think Willie Fritz might end up going to Houston. I think that's a legit scary thing for Tulane. But give me the green wave.
Yeah, I'm definitely going green roll wave here, no matter what, no matter who's playing quarterback at SMU. Love what Rhett Lashley's done at SMU. Very, very good season at 10-2. I commend him. But dude, Tulane is a machine. They proved something to me when they played Ole Miss. They've proved to me all season long. And I'm going roll wave here. Willie Fritz he's going to do some great things. He's going to win a conference title on his way out. And I think he's going to end up somewhere other than Tulane, unfortunately for Tulane, and fortunately for whoever's getting him. Roll wave, give me Tulane.
Yeah, good football coach.
Yeah. I don't really have much to add to that. I'm not sure where exactly the spread would need to be for me to take SMU in the points. Not that much higher, honestly, but at 3.5, no, I'm taking Tulane to cover that.
Yeah, a few years ago when a hurricane went through New Orleans, Alabama actually hosted Tulane and allowed them to use our practice facilities to practice for a game that week. So I thought that was pretty cool. So we've roll wave, roll tide. So we kind of still have some love for Tulane. So I'm taking Tulane.
Humble brag.
I think Tulane's going to win this easily, and Cassie's taking Tulane as well.
Oh, by the way, whenever Katrina went through, on the flip side of that, Coach O had me breaking down Tulane players' films for players whenever they give up football who we could go get.
Jeez.
That's so
God.
gross.
Yeah, I've felt dirty for 20 years over that.
I bet.
Well, and much like I have this entire time, my pick is Tulane. I did not have to change from SMU to Tulane just now. So go green wave.
Complete confidence
Yeah,
Yes.
totally.
all day long.
It was really cover to cover. I mean,
Yeah, it is.
Solid
yeah, no doubts whatsoever.
at all. Like a rock.
No wavering.
None whatsoever. All right, our next game. Louisville against FSU in the, again, Dr. Pepper ACC Championship from Charlotte, I believe.
Yeah, 2.5-point favorite. That's nearly a pick 'em.
It's nearly a pick 'em for Florida State, still favored with Tate Rodemaker as their quarterback. Louisville taking a big L in their own backyard against Kentucky last week. Puts a little damper on this game. Steve, does anything deter you from picking Florida State, or are you going upset here?
I
Barely.
it's a situation. This is what Ole Miss fans need in this game, and people that are watching this game. If you're an Ole Miss fan and you want Ole Miss to go to a New Year's Six bowl game, you need FSU to win this game, but when it's so ugly that they fall out of the top 4 and they get jumped by somebody. If that happens, Ole Miss is going NY6 because Florida State would go to the Orange Bowl and one of the other access bowls would open up. And Louisville would end up going to like the Meineke Car Care Bowl or whatever that is, the Blockbuster Bowl or something like that, the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
I think it's the Little Caesars Bowl or something like that.
Yeah, and you know, that's the path. Give me Florida State, but I think it has a chance. I'm hoping it'll be an ugly win for Florida State, but I mean, even then, you're playing the hope game at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. I'm with you there. I think Florida State is just – I think they got too many other weapons. I think Rodemaker's finally going to be comfortable. The last time he played against Louisville was a season ago in relief of Jordan Travis. Threw some dimes, came in just kind of with his hair on fire, backup style. Now he's a starter, so we'll see. Might be a little bit different. But Trey Benson is good. Keon Coleman is good. Jared Verse is elite. All the guys I've named are elite. Mike Norvell has done a great job coaching that team. They're fighting for a playoff spot. So if they win, the committee's going to have to make some decisions here on what they do with that spot. And Florida State plans on making it difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. The FSU's win last week against Florida was a little uglier than I thought it would be, but you knew it was going to be a little rough switching quarterbacks like that. And I think that he did kind of find his footing in there. So I think Florida State's going to come out and play all right. Louisville fell apart against Kentucky. That was just sad. So I'm sorry. I cannot buy into Louisville after that game last week. So I'm taking FSU for sure here.
We all know rivalry games get stupid, and I'm a clear example of that with Auburn last week. And Kentucky's had Louisville's number, for I think 6 seasons now. I mean, I think it's 6 straight wins in that rivalry. Yeah, 5 or 6. But point being, I think Louisville is a better team than that showing they had last week. FSU, they're still finding ways to win without their quarterback, but it's eventually going to catch up to them. If they do make the playoffs, they're just going to get boat raced by whoever they play because that's going to catch up to them eventually. So I'm hoping Louisville wins this game just to help Alabama's chances if Alabama wins, of course. But, it could go either way. But give me Louisville to at least cover. They may win by like 3. And Cassie's taking Louisville as well.
And I think Louisville's mad and embarrassed, which is going to work in their favor. They're going to be pretty well motivated. And I'm sure Mr. Rudebaker is a fine stand-in quarterback for FSU.
Mr.
But
Gardenhoser?
not this week. Not this week.
Gardenhoser.
Mr. Rudebaker.
Rosenberger.
Ropelhopper.
Didn't they used to make a car named Rodebaker or something?
Studebaker.
Studebaker, yeah.
Close enough. Close enough.
That's
Yeah,
why
I'm
I
sure he's
named
a
you Joe
lovely
Dirt
pie,
instead of
but
Nuttamaker.
not this week.
Nuttamaker. That's how I got Cassie pregnant. Anyway.
Well,
Whoa.
Nope.
there we go. There goes that E right there, right?
Yeah. Jeez.
All right. Michigan is a 22.5-point favorite over Iowa. America's team playing against Iowa on Fox. The whole country is rooting for Michigan. They want nothing but good things to happen to that program. It's always nice to see whenever teams do the things the right way, and it just works out for them in the end. And America is just completely on their back. I mean, you have Jim Harbaugh, who, even though he might have been suspended for 2 different things for different points in the season, he is America's coach. He is a good football team, good football coach. You have Chris Partridge, who says, hey, I got fired for no reason, even though they said I destroyed evidence and got fired with cause, but I'm not going to sue because I'm just an upstanding individual. And I mean, Michigan just totally class. It's Michigan man all the way. And I just don't know, even though Iowa does the thing where they wave at sick kids at the end of the 3rd quarter in their games, and that's a really cool tradition. I just don't think they can match the classiness of 100 Michigan men in the Big Ten championship. And Michigan is going to outclass Iowa and win this game 31-0, 38-0. I think this game has to be a blowout in the most classiest sense possible.
I think Iowa's going to go on offensive explosion and score 10 points. So, no, I think it's.
Did I break y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I can follow that speech. No, I honestly, I don't want to pick against Michigan here, but I have to because I think eventually they will break out and win by 3 or 4 touchdowns. But I think early on, we're all going to be like, except for Becky, we're all and Jake, we're all going to be like, wait a second, maybe I should have picked Iowa. And then late Michigan's going to be like, oh yeah, here's why you should have picked us. Because I think Iowa's going to get tired. I think they're going to because their defense is going to be on the field the whole time. They're going to have to deal with Blake Corum, despite all of the drama. Michigan's a really good football team.
Those without class don't recognize it.
This is the game where if you're listening to the audio version, is it a Lincoln commercial or a Michigan quote? Can you tell? Because I can't.
Right.
But I say all of that to say that Michigan's going to win and cover.
Yeah, and if Penn State and Ohio State couldn't do it, I don't think Iowa's going to be the team to take Michigan down.
Picks.
Yeah, well, it's Michigan is they are a really good team. I think they're gonna go ahead and roll in this game. I'm taking them to cover those points, and then I think they will, like last year, get embarrassed in the playoffs by a team they should have beat. I'm hoping FSU,
but with class.
But with class, yes, they'll take it well. I'm sure.
Integrity Bowl.
Getting choked up over here.
Yeah. I tweeted. It's not tweets anymore. It's X's or whatever they call it now. But anyway, I put out on X the other day when I was watching the Iowa game that they was playing. I said Iowa can hold any team to around 10 points. The question is, can they score 11 to win that particular game? And I don't think they can. But if they do get 10 points here and Michigan only gets 27, that's not a cover. If they get 31 to 10, I mean, you're getting a fine line there. So if Iowa does sneak a touchdown to go in, it's not a cover, boys. So
no class, zero class.
Yeah, I have no class. So
No class.
I'm taking Iowa to hold Michigan under the 2 they're still going to lose, but I'm taking Michigan.
Oh my God!
Zero class. Poor.
And Cassidy is too, so she's poor.
Why come Jake and Cassidy are the only ones that are correct on this pick, y'all? So
Gross.
I thought the rest of y'all were supposed to be
goodness.
researching as
Oh
well.
my
This is
God.
embarrassing.
Goodness.
Side note: Iowa covers.
Class. No,
Are they
none.
the
No
scarecrows? Who is Iowa? Like
none.
all I can picture, like cornfields.
Probably you are
The
correct.
crows.
Yeah.
Pretty accurate there.
Yeah,
Iowa
kind of nailed that.
Buckeyes.
All right. So,
So five tornadoes.
Becky is
I don't know.
Becky is an Iowa expert now.
Yeah,
That was quick.
and apparently classless. That's something
I'm
I'm going
pretty
to have to live
smart.
with.
And a sailor. So yeah.
Classless.
There's no sailing in Iowa.
Hey-o.
Hey.
Sailing right past
Except
Michigan.
at dirt cheap.
Becky, I take back my comment from earlier.
Damage done, sir. I'm gonna cry later, but that's
I cannot believe that people picked against Iowa. I mean, against Michigan.
They're not Michigan people.
Yeah, they're not Michigan
No.
men. They're completely.
No,
No,
they're
I'm not.
Honestly,
and I hate Jim Harbaugh.
they
You're
have
not
like
American
boys.
either. You're not
I
American.
mean, can you
You're not-
imagine being
not
a
picking
coach
America's
of a
team.
team to where you have been suspended twice in one season for different reasons for multiple games, and America loves you? You're America's coach. You're like Danny Tanner on the sidelines.
He needs to just go coach for Texas.
And
Get them all in one place.
Steve just hit us
and-
with a Danny Tanner. I love it.
and then having your assistant coach who's coaching for you could cry his eyes out on national TV. I mean, how?
Yeah, dropped an RIP F-bomb. I mean, that's the kind of class that they have.
Oh my God!
It's
Grow up, Michigan.
Oh, man.
Grow the F up.
Literally, we've got to the point. Serious. I'm going to. This is a serious moment. This is a serious Steve moment. Okay, we've got to the point where the best thing about Michigan is the scene from Friends with Benefits, I think it was, or Just Go With It, the Ashton Kutcher movie with what's her name?
Jennifer.
Strings attached, man.
Mila Kunis.
No. That was Justin Timberlake. Natalie
Lady
Portman.
Thor. Yeah.
Yeah, Natalie Portman. And he went to Michigan, and that's literally the best part about that school at this point.
Lord.
Yeah.
Didn't Ari Gold go to Michigan?
No, we can only hope.
Oh, I don't know.
They have a pretty blue. You can give them that.
It's not blue. It's maize.
Oh,
No, it's
that's
maize and
gross.
blue. That's yellow.
And isn't that like Iowa's thing?
No, maize is the beautiful color, not blue. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Blue and corn? Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Maize. We call it corn.
I don't think
Corn maize.
I don't think there's words for how much I can't stand Michigan. And screw them for making me root for Ohio State. Because I have a natural
that's
hatred
true.
for Ohio State. And the fact that you can sit there and say, hey, go Buckeyes today, screw you.
Steve, who is this Ohio State team?
Yeah.
Because it's the Ohio State.
Oh.
Ohio,
It is
not.
the Ohio State University is Ohio University in Oxford, Ohio. Come at me, Buckeyes.
Corey, you want your timer? You want your countdown?
We're off the rails, so I'm guessing we need it, right?
Yeah, we've been off the rails for a minute.
You got 30 seconds.
I'm gonna need more than that, boss. All right, here we oh, get my best auctioneer voice going. Here we go. Good night, go Dogs.
I'll give you 2. I'll give you 2 minutes.
All right, here we go. Did you catch all that?
That's sure.
Okay, so here's what I said. I said we are the SEC After Dark podcast presented by DeadSoxy, Stewart's Cajun Dill Pickles, and BetOnline.ag. You can catch Steve each and every day, his team every day with the Locked On Ole Miss. You can catch Jake at Tide Talk Sports. You can catch Jeb eventually. You can catch Jeb right here, and eventually somewhere else. Not sure where.
He has a really good idea for a show if he'll just do it.
Yeah, I gotta.
Was you following the strike too? You're just waiting your show to get off strike to do? I mean,
Solidarity, brother.
Guys, I got 2 minutes, so
Oh, sorry.
quit the side talk. You can find me.
A Michigan man would do this.
Wait. Part of your 2 minutes, so you got to go back and get Jake's show's name right, sir.
yeah. And you
Correct
said Tide Talk
yourself.
Sports.
Oh,
What did I say? Oh, I'm thinking TTS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was an old name. Sorry.
You're right.
Tide Talk Live.
Mm-hmm.
You can catch Jake at Tide Talk Live. Sorry, Jake. Sorry, Stacey.
You good. You
All
good.
right. You can catch me at Bleav In Georgia Dawgs. You can catch me also Illegal Motion. And also a third one. Well, actually a fourth one counting this one. Locked on Vandy coming soon to a podcast channel near you. Locked on Vandy. So this
Anchor down.
this behind me is going to look totally different.
Sorry, Jeb. Anchor down.
Anchor down. So, and you can catch the voice of God
Georgia.
Nowhere.
nowhere.
Here.
She doesn't exist.
Jeb, at least y'all got a 7-5 record in the last 10 years against them now.
Shut up.
Dominates.
At this point, there was Philip Fulmer, and then some kind of like black hole shit happened, and then Josh Heupel came. Boom, we're good.
Keep it up, Steven. Keep it up.
Yeah.
Vandy's JV squad is going to do some damage next year
Yeah.
in Coosa.
The Vandy man can.
Mm-hmm.
And on that note, anchor down. Go Dogs. We'll see you back here next week.
Hotty toddy.
Go Vols.
Roll Tide.
Fight on.